Start Broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast.
Good evening, everyone. This is Mr. Taylor with Young Engineers of Today. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday and your last 48 hours treated you well. Tonight, we are going to finish up our two-player Pong game with Scratch 2.0. All right, let's get started. If you can hear me, please raise your hand. All right, Max and Sam can hear me. Zach and Luke, you can hear me, please raise your hand. Thank you, Zach and Luke. Very good, very good. Hello, everyone. Hi, Max. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Luke. Hi, Sam. And hi, Zach. Hope all of you are doing well this evening. All right. If you can see my screen, please raise your hand. Good to hear, Max. All right, Max, Luke, Sam, and Zach. Thank you. All right. So we're going to begin by first off asking, does anyone have any questions, concerns about the code from last week? Or excuse me, from Monday. You have any questions, comments, etc., please raise your hand at this time if you would like to ask something or want to review something. All right, Max.
I have, I know we're probably going to be doing this today, but I'm just kind of confused on how we're going to be able to reset it and keep the score.
It's all based off of variables. And since we can add and subtract and use other math operators with variables, that's how it's going to do it.
Oh.
Okay. And it'll make more sense shortly.
Okay.
Thank you, Max. Let's go with Sam. Sam, go ahead.
Okay, so last time, you know how I had told you that the ball goes straight through my paddle?
Yes.
Okay, well, I checked my code. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. I don't know.
Did you compare your code to the presentations?
Yeah.
And then does it do it even when you're not doing the webinar?
Yeah, it still does it. And I did it on a different computer.
Okay, I'm gonna have to think about that one. If the code is completely correct, I can look at your code. But if one little thing's off, did you even check the naming of your sprites? Do your sprites match?
Yeah, I just did that a few seconds ago.
So your sprite matches the name within the code that has been given?
Yep. Yeah.
Are your show and hides correct in the correct order?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right. I'm right now off the top of my head. I'm stumped. I'll keep thinking about it and get back to you.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Yes, Brendan.
I just came, and also I missed the webinar on Monday, but I was watching it, but I only watched 50 minutes of it.
Okay.
I just missed the last 10, and I've already finished the part where I did the right player scoreboard and the left player score.
All right, good job. So you're pretty much caught up, which is good. Thank you, Brendan. Good job. Good
The
job.
only thing is there anything? I think I missed something in the last 10 minutes because I never got to that part. Is there anything else there?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. but we're going to do a little bit of review, so that'll help you out.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Brendan.
Also,
Oh, sorry. You're still talking. Yeah, go ahead, Brendan.
pardon me. I got these little things on the top, like in my stage. It said right player score, and it just says 10, left player score 10. And I tested them out, and they work. So if the right one works, then I know why. But and I accidentally, if I let a goal in, then it would go to 9 and all that.
Okay. Yeah. You sound like you're in the right spot.
Mhm.
All right. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Brendan. Let's go with Evan. Evan.
Oh, I didn't know that was in here. Are we going to make the ball go diagonal?
I have a challenge for you at the end to see if you know where that goes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But remember that question. Come back to me
And,
towards the end of class with it, and I'm gonna see if you know what to do. All right.
okay.
All right. Thank you. Zach, go ahead. Zachary. All right. Okay. All right. And look, I need to call on Max because Max has a solution for, I believe, Sam. Go ahead, Max.
I think that it might be because the when you have it bouncing off, I think it's probably because he's has it bouncing off, but like instead of
Hold
having
on.
it for the correct paddle, it's for the wrong paddle.
Hold on 1 second, Max, and I'm going to unmute Sam so you guys can discuss it. Go ahead. Max and Sam, you're unmuted.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I think that when you look at it, is your when you have it bouncing off the um left paddle, is it bouncing in the correct direction?
It won't even bounce off the left paddle. It just goes straight through both of them.
I don't know then. I was thinking that it just would because I had a problem where it would bounce on my paddle and then the ball would just keep on hitting the paddle, and I figured out that it was just spinning the wrong way.
All right. Well, thank you for trying.
All right. Well, thanks.
Thank you for talking with each other. That shows a lot of professionalism. Great job, gentlemen. All right. Okay. Let's start reviewing. Now, last class we started off with basically the ball moving, and then from there we added a right paddle. The ball hit the right paddle would move a -90, and then we did it for the left paddle, so it bounced back and forth. So this is where our ball is moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right. Now, we then put in this if touching left miss ball or touching right miss ball, then hide. But we didn't keep this. We end up changing it to two separate entities. Why did we change those? Why didn't we want to use this code? Why is using two separate when touching your red areas better? What opportunities does that give us? Can someone raise their hand and tell me? Why do we not want to use this? Using if touching left miss ball area, which is your left red area, that your dead zone, or in your right red area as well. Why did we just not? Why did we use an or here? But I remember I specifically told you guys this lacks an advantage compared to using them separately. What advantage do we get? Can someone please tell me this? Because we switched our code. We got rid of that or. All right, please raise your hand. All right, let's go with Max first. Yeah, Max, go ahead.
It's because if you have them together, when it comes to the points, it's won't know which player to take points from.
Very
Because
good.
if it's right player or left player, then if they're together, it's going to take a point off from both players. But if it's separate, then it's only going to take it away from one player.
Excellent job. Excellent job. Thank you, Max. Would anyone like to add on to that? That's a great answer. Yeah. This gives you the overall opportunity to be able to control them as separate entities. So if you want to change something to one, you can change it to the one, whereas the other, you have to change both of them at the same time. All right. So let's move on here. All right. Then we added the scores last class, where we put these variables. Can someone tell me how we can make a variable? How do we make a variable? Let's go with Sarah. Sarah, how do you make a variable?
You hit data, whatever, and then you click make a variable, and then you type in the name of the variable, and then it'll have set name a variable to whatever number you want, and it can. So it's about score, or kind of. It's just
Excellent
you
job.
name the variable, you hit it, name the variable.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Nice job, Sarah. So that took us there, and we added some variables. Now, depending on the class you're in, we got to this far in one class, and we can go a little bit further. How many people were finished with this? Hi, Evan, Max, Taha. All right, Zach. All right, I'll put your hands. If you need time to do this, please raise your hand. All right. All right. Brendan, your hand's raised. Yes, Brendan.
And I just was raising my hand because I need time to do it.
You do need time or don't?
Do.
All right, go ahead and hurry up and do this, okay?
Okay.
All right, while Brendan's doing that, what I want to explain to you is this code here, the broadcast, where my cursor is over. Broadcast game begins. What we're eventually going to use this for is to be able to show when the game starts. That's what broadcasts are for. Broadcasts also can be used to send messages. Basically, they tell the code, and from one, you can send code, a signal, basically, if you will, from one sprite to another to do something, or from a backdrop to a backdrop, or a backdrop to a sprite, or a sprite to a backdrop, and vice versa. That's what we use those for. Then we have a wait, because we want time to have it flash before everything else happens. Now, with the ball speed in this code, basically what happens is every time your paddles touch the ball speed here for paddle right and paddle left, it'll increase the ball speed by 1. Eventually, this gets extremely fast and hard to even play, but we're going to change that. Then, as well as, we have 2 scores here, where every time we hit our dead zones, our left and right missed areas, we subtract a point all the way down, okay? And that's where we got our scoring taking place. Yes, Zachary, you have your hand raised. Zach, your hand is up. All right, you might want to check your mic settings. Max, to answer your question, this is the formula to advance the ball speed. But if you're referring to slowing the ball speed down, yes, we're going to be adding code to do that as well. Okay, Sam's good. Good job. I wasn't talking. That's why, Sam. The reason you couldn't hear me. My vocal cords were doing nothing. All right, code. I was reading messages. Anyway. Interesting. Now, the thing is, right now it's going -1 because we want to subtract it back. All right. Now, let's move on. All right, what I need you to do is add in another if statement. But before you do this, can someone tell me what color blue represents? This light blue. Light blue. What does it represent? Raise your hand and let me know. Let's go with Brendan. Thank you for participating. Yes, Brendan.
Sensing.
Sensei, excellent job. You the man. All right. All right. Can someone tell me what green represents? Green. Let's go with Evan. Evan, what's green represent?
It means operators.
Operators. Excellent job, Evan. High fives all around. All right. Now, what I want you to do is go and put this new if statement in, which here, key pressed. This is where you can control our code. So when it starts getting too fast, if keys pressed and touching the right paddle, it'll subtract the speed by 5. Now, if you want to, which you're more than willing, you could do this for the right paddle too. The left paddle. So you have your right and your left paddle. So if you're player right or player left, you can both slow down the ball, making it more of a challenging aspect. And maybe you want to do key space for both. Or you could do another button instead of space for the left player. Is anyone, if you understand what you're doing right now, raise your hand. All right, good. Evan, Max, Sarah, Taha, George, Zachary, Sarah, Luke. All right, let's go ahead. And once we are done with this, please type in that you are finished. Thank you. I'm going to put your hands down now. All right, Max is done. Brendan's done. Brendan, you have your hand raised. Brendan, what's going on?
This code's for the ball, right? Still for the ball.
Yeah, we're still on the ball. The ball is our main piece here, making everything happen.
Yeah, you said that last time, so I'm just making sure we didn't change.
Nope. Nice job, Brendan. Thank you for clarifying. Appreciate it.
Also, how do you...
Oh, got you again. Yeah, Brendan.
I need to stop talking when you already say you're done. But how do you do the left? How do you do it for the left? You just do it down where it says left goal, touching left goal?
No, basically, because it's a separate statement, you would change the touch. So when touching, you would change it for your left paddle.
Oh, okay. I see.
So, but you probably want to choose a different button for space. Okay. So then the left player can slow theirs down too. Or you can still do the space bar. I mean, that's up to you. It's just you would have more opportunity to hit it. But it is the biggest button too, so. All right. Thank you, Brendan. All right. Great question. George is done. Nice job. Anyone else? Questions, concerns? Raise your hand. All right, let's go with Luke. Yes, Luke. All right, Luke.
Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, no problem. How you doing tonight, Luke?
Good.
Good, good. All right, you see Evan had his hand up. Evan, go ahead.
I was just saying I was done,
All right, awesome job, Evan.
and all of a sudden, ball speed 1 seems really fast.
Yeah, just it'll slow down, or you can always restart the game.
Well, I've been trying to do that. It just starts out really fast.
Well, I would check your code, or you can put a reset in. If you see how my first ball speed is 5, set ball speed to 5, drop that down to 1 then.
It's been at 1.
Then I would check your code in there. I'm not quite sure why it would be so much faster. All right.
Found the problem, I think.
All right, good. Good perseverance.
Yeah, I did.
All right, great job. Great job. Let's go with Zach. Yes, Zach.
My ball is going so fast, it's glitching.
All right, well, what you can do is this. Set the ball speed down to 1 and restart it, or put it to the point where once we go through this process, you can change the game in any way you want. So if you don't like having the ball speed increase, you can just get rid of it.
Okay.
Right now, I'm just showing you, the main part of this was to teach you how to use data variables.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Brendan, you have your hand raised.
What happened now is that the ball didn't go any faster, and also it just went through my right paddle, and it didn't even deflect it, and I don't really know why I did that. So I didn't change anything of the paddle.
Just make sure the names of everything are correct, as well as the show and hides are in the right places.
Would I have to look on the ball's code?
Yeah, this is all for the ball. All this code's on the ball. None of this code is on your paddles. This code is all how your ball is interacting with the paddles.
Okay.
Okay? Which makes a difference. All right. Thank you, Brendan. Sam.
Okay, so the same thing was happening to me, except it would start off like super slow, but then it would go super fast.
That's the point of the code. That's literally what it's telling it to do.
Okay.
And what happens is the way you can slow the ball down when you're playing an opponent is every time it touches your paddle, hit the space bar.
Okay, thanks.
All right. You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Let's go with Sarah. Yes, Sarah.
Instead of I did the score, but instead of writing Sprite 5 score, I thought it was Sprite 4, so I wrote Sprite 4 score, but that was one of the side things. So how do I delete that?
Time out. Can you say that again?
I did the score, and I just realized now I wrote Sprite 4 score, but that wasn't one of my paddles. It was one of my side things. And how do you delete it? Because I don't want it up there.
You want to delete a block or delete a variable?
A variable.
It's just there now. Just don't use it.
But it's like on the scoreboard. How do I get it off the scoreboard?
Click on the variable multiple times.
Okay.
Is it changing?
Like, click on, like, I'm clicking on it, like,
All right. Go to your make a variable here. All right. You see this check mark right here?
Yeah.
If I uncheck it, what happens to it?
It disappears.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
And then if you click on it, you see how it changes the way it looks?
Yeah.
That's another thing, everyone. By clicking on the variable, there's different ways it looks. And if you want to get rid of it, you can do that as well. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, George, go ahead.
Well, I have this really bad problem in my game of whenever the ball hit the right paddle and I pressed the space bar, it would go down to like -43 and go straight through my paddle. But then I figured out that I had tried to create it so that it would be the same for the left paddle of when you pressed space, it would stop, but I'd forgotten to switch it to the left instead of the right, so it was the same for both ways.
Okay.
So it was going down by 10.
Oh, gotcha. Makes sense. Good way to figure out your own answer. Nice job. Good programming technique. Good job, George. And Brendan, you have your hand raised?
What happened is that it still went through my paddle, but I realized when I took out the little key space pressed and touching right player, when I just put right player, it worked in the regular way again, only it was so slow. But I put it back and I tried pressing the space key when it hit my right paddle, and it deflected. But if I never pressed the space key, it would go through the paddle.
Okay. Good stuff. All right.
And it would still speed up like it's supposed to, but it just it would go through the paddle unless I press the space bar, then it would bounce off and speed up. But if I did not press the space bar, it would just go through the paddle and then reset and just keep going slow.
Okay. Yeah, maybe because it's all about math, and within this, it can go into the negatives. So, and this might be a feature you don't like. So you can delete it when you're done. Okay.
All right.
All right. Yes, Sam.
Okay, so my thing, I put that in, and when I press the space bar, it gets going really fast. Like, it just, like, pops up 2 balls on the screen because it's going so fast. So, I don't know what's going on.
With this code, change ball speed by, do you have it on -5 or 5?
-5.
It shouldn't be, it shouldn't be increasing speed. It should be decreasing speed.
Okay, just a second. I'll put it on a lower negative number. -5. Just a second. Now it went super fast when I put it on -9. Like, really fast.
It's glitching. There's definitely a glitch in there because it should not be doing that.
All right.
It should be decreasing. What is your set ball speed at?
It is at -9, and it went like really fast.
No. Your ball speed. What is it at? Like up here.
That's at 5.
And then change ball speed by what?
I put it on -9 and -5.
Is there a space in between those?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because there's something off. Because it should not. Yeah, it should not be increasing in speed. It should be decreasing.
All right. I'll try it on a different computer after the webinar's over.
Yeah, and I'm not sure of that. Let me think. Yeah, there's either something wrong with the code or it's glitching. One of the two.
Yeah. It looks like it's glitching.
Yeah, it might be overwhelmed based on. Is anyone else on the internet at your house right now?
My brother's doing his webinar.
Yeah, I mean that's the possibility when you have that much bandwidth. I mean, webinars take up a lot of internet. Is I realized.
All right.
Constant upload and downloading. All right, yeah, just try it afterwards and just try to save often, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Sam, for your patience. All right. Yes, George, you have your hand up.
Well, I know how to fix his problem.
Go ahead. And hold on. Let me unmute Sam so you guys can talk about it. For 1 second. All right, go ahead, Sam and George.
Well, I had the same problem. It's just if you hold down space, sometimes if it goes really low, it'll start, like, when mine went down to -60, it went so fast that I couldn't even see it.
Yeah.
And if I just click it, then it doesn't go down as much. And you have to just keep it in positive numbers.
Okay.
Well, that's a great suggestion. So obviously we learned here there's a difference between tapping and holding. Okay? Thank you, you two. Great collaboration. Thank you, George, for your support. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to do, we are going to be making a new sprite. And how you can tell the difference is right here. Where this says costumes, that would say stage or backdrop if it was a backdrop. We are making a new sprite. You can click on the T, it gives you different text. And we're going to make a sprite. And you're going to write, let the game begin. Dun, dun, dun. So, once you've done this, let me know by typing in. All right, if you understand what you're about to do right now, raise your hand. All right, thank you. Go ahead. All right, Max is done. Very good. Let me second hands raised. See if these people need help. All right, go ahead.
I'm done.
Oh, you're done. Excellent job. Sarah.
when I write "let the game begin," should it be on the paintbrush? Because when I do the paintbrush, it's not that thick.
No, it's click on the T for text.
What?
The T, there's a T that is 4 spots down for the paintbrush. That'll allow you to use a text button where you can type information in.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Sam.
Am I supposed to make it pop up on the screen or not?
Not yet. Not yet. We're going to go over the code. All you're doing is making the sprite.
So,
remember when we did that broadcast earlier? We're going to put it to use now. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Zach, go ahead. I see that you're done.
How do you change the color of the words?
Click on the colors down below.
Okay.
You'll have to retype the words.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. Brendan, go ahead.
I'm finished, but the words are so small. They're not tiny. They're not like really tiny, but when it went onto my stage, they're kind of small.
So use the enlarging button.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is that the little hand on the square?
Possibly. I have to actually go and look. It's one. No, I believe it's the stamp.
Okay.
No, it's not the stamp. It looks like arrows pointing outwards, and there's 4 of them in an X. You can make it.
Oh, I see it up here. I see it.
Okay.
Let's see if it'll work.
It should. All right. Thank you, Brendan. All right, George is done. So now we all have this sprite. Remember earlier on when I told you about that broadcast, and I was like, we're going to use this. A broadcast sends a message. Now, what we're going to be doing is sending a message from the start of the game to one sprite to do something and then to disappear. So this is how this is going to go down. Now, in your code, you have your ball sprite, looks something like this, and a broadcast. Now, what you're worried about is the code now for let the game begin sprite. We're going to put when I receive the game broadcast, you're going to show let the games begin, wait for a second and a half, and then hide. Can someone tell me this? Why do I have that on for a second and a half, but then on my ball won't do anything for 2 seconds? Why do you think it has that happen? Whoops. Can someone answer that riddle for me? I wouldn't say it's quite a riddle, but nonetheless, it's a question. Max.
So that you can get ready and not have to like click it and then just be like right away already typing or like using your or moving your paddles.
Exactly. It gives you some time. Very good, Max. Thank you. All right, now what I want you to do, go write this code. If you understand, please raise your hand and tell me that you're done in the text. Very good, Taha, Brendan, Zachary, Sarah. Awesome, everybody. Rock and roll. see, Evan's done. Brendan's done. Brendan's done. Let me see. Max, you have a question?
No, I figured out what I needed.
Okay.
I figured out what I needed.
I said okay.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear you.
Oh, no problem. Sorry. All right. It looks like everyone's done with this. George, Zach, Sarah, Den. Very good. Now, when you're go ahead and play your game for a moment and tell me what's one thing you feel like the game's missing, or you wish something the ball would do. What is the ball doing right now that you wish it would do differently? And once you have an idea, raise your hand. Go with Sarah. Sarah.
The ball is bouncing just back and forth, but I want the ball to bounce like diagonally and stuff, so it's more of a challenge.
Okay, so this is what we're going to have to look at. I'm going to keep you on the line. Now, you see this point direction 90s here?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to put those to random. Remember how we did that with the first game?
Yeah.
All right, everyone, go ahead and change those and see what happens if you put in 2 randoms in there. Random, and you pick the numbers from what directions you want them to go. Point direction, 0 to 300, or 1 to 60, or 5 to... All right. If you understand what you're going to change now and try out, let me know by raising your hand. All right, go ahead and do that, and then once you're done, let me know what happens. Type in what's happening, or raise your hand and tell me what's going on. All right, let's go with Max. Max, what's happening here now?
I had done it a while ago, and so what happens is the ball, it just will bounce at, like, you don't know what angle it will bounce at. I did it from 0 to 360, so it can bounce at literally any specific angle possible.
All right, so does that make the game better?
Yeah, it makes it a lot better because you don't know where it's going to go.
All right, very good, very good. So it's random. All right, let's go with Sarah. Sarah, what's happening here? As soon as I'm able to unmute you. Go ahead, Sarah.
It's bouncing randomly. I keep on losing because I'm not the most coordinated person on earth with the buttons.
Yeah,
But
welcome to my world.
It'll be really fun.
All right, good, good. So that's getting better. Good. So we like the improvement there to the game. Sam, what's happening?
Okay, sorry. I accidentally deleted one of my paddles, but I can fix it. But sorry, I wasn't looking when you told me what to change. So which one was I supposed to change?
The 90 degrees for under each touching paddle. You want to put some type of random number in there. Like pick random 0 to something. It's a block.
Wait, which one? Could you shine your thing over your
this
mouse?
90?
Yeah.
And this 90. Remember, we did this with the first game.
All right, thanks.
Remember how the ball would hit off and go in some random direction?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll make your game better. Remember, I forget who it was. I think I was talking to Brendan earlier. What he thought, and that's what we were talking about. George, what's going on? George, I'm muted. Okay. All right. So let's move forward. Now that you have a functional two-player Pong game that has control buttons as well as an increase and decrease in speed. So what we're going to do here is this.
Yeah, I might have. Because the TV says it's not connected. I was just reading the black screen came up not connected.
Yeah, it might just disappear. Yeah. I don't know what just happened. For you.
Okay. It's green now, so it should be okay now.
All right, everyone. Sorry, a little technical difficulty there. My internet just kind of randomly dropped for a moment. All right, now we're back in business. All right, now here's some ideas of what you can do to make this game better. You can add a game over screen that flashes. You can do that with another broadcast with using variables when your certain score of a player gets to 0. I had 2 girls in my class last year. We had a 2-player Pong game similar to this. And what they ended up doing was they wrote broadcast for separate. You can do it as sprites or you can do it as backdrops that flashed when whenever a score equaled 0, it'd say player 1-1 or player 2-1 based off the paddle, which was really cool. You can increase the difficulty of the game, speed degrees. We did the speed, we did the degrees. You can change the size of the paddle. You want to make it harder, make a smaller paddle. Make a ball that changes in size as the game goes on, like your sprite shrinks or duplicates. You get more balls. Add dead zones. I had 2 students make a 4-player game where they had the red zones on each side of the square background and allowed them to play a 4-player game. They use multiple balls going in different directions. You just have to do code for each one of those balls by like duplicating them. Game gets harder as time goes on. I had a student write a game where he put these blocks where anytime the ball passed through one of these blocks, it would increase the size of the ball or decrease the size of the ball. So it's kind of cool. All right. All right. Now, so there's just some different ideas for you to think about. Okay. So now, for you to improve this game overall, what skills do we need to improve this game? All right. Now, some key skills that are key to making your game better is using variables. Variables allow you to add and subtract as we already did, and you can do this for a variety of things. If statements, if one thing's happened, it allows you to do another thing, just like how your ball does certain things, how your paddles work, etc. Forever statements, loops. You can have these behaviors go on and on over and over. Broadcasting, as we just discussed. You know how to broadcast now. You broadcast when the game starts. You can broadcast when the game loses or someone loses. Using operators. In the green, these operators allow you to combine and add or do ands or ors. So a lot of power there. Adding stages and sprites. Maybe you want to add more balls to the game. Maybe you want to add more players. George, you are muted on my end. It might not look like it on your end. On my end, you have a mute symbol next to you. You could talk right now and go ahead and talk, George. Nothing. Yeah, you're muted. It's just not showing up on your end. Yeah, Max doesn't hear you, George. No one hears you. It's just not showing up on yours, which no problem. Being organized, keeping your codes in a sequential pattern, keeping them in the way that you can understand them, etc. Because once stuff gets all mixed up, and use your comments. We went over commenting. You know how to use comments. You can type those in. That'll help you. Or if you're working on a game with someone else, or if you leave it and you want to come back to it, you know what, you've left that. Okay. In creativity, Scratch is a very powerful tool. It can allow you to do as much as you want. In this regards, to improve this game, it's how creative you are. The sky's the limit of what you can do to make this game better. All right, thank you, George. No problem. But thank you for reminding me when I do forget to mute people, though, so I appreciate that. All right, right now, what I want you to do, real quick, this is going to be our last activity. How can you randomly change the color of the ball when you touch the missed ball sprite? Think about that. I'll give you a hint. You're going to use an if statement. But how can you randomly change the color of the ball? Or even change the color of the ball? Can someone raise their hand and tell me once they've thought about that? All right. Whoa, a lot of hands went up. Let's go with George. Can you explain that to me, George?
Well, I didn't really use an if statement, but I dragged on a when green flag is clicked forever, change color effect by 1.
Okay. Cool.
So that it looks sort of like it's just changing colors slightly.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, George. Anyone else? Because there's always more than one way. Let's go with Brendan. Brendan, go ahead.
I was just raising my hand because I have a bunch of problems right now.
Okay.
Well, not a bunch, but like 3 or 4.
All right.
The first one is my ball. When I do the random things, it does exactly as it says, but it doesn't bounce around everywhere. It just goes slow, exactly as I typed in, like up, down, left, right. I'll do those and repeat those, but it won't go. It won't bounce everywhere though.
Did you put it over top of the 90s?
No. Well,
that's your problem right there.
I have only one of them is 180. The other ones are -90 and 0.
You want to do a pick random and set the numbers. So then it's not. You have to literally go get a tool and put it in there. Oh. We did this in the first Palm video.
Oh.
All right, what's your next question?
Also, the play ball thing, I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to do, but it just stays on there the whole time, and it never comes and then goes away. It always stays
Did you put a show and hide?
Hey, pardon me?
Did you use a show and hide?
See, I have show and hide. Yes, I have a wait. When I receive message 1, show, wait 1.5 seconds, hide. Like the one on the right.
And do you have it when I receive the game begins from broadcast game begins?
I have message 1, which is the only one there is, the only one to choose from.
Okay, because you didn't name it. So it's just going to be a general name call. And you have it show, then wait for 1.5.
But I didn't put that little broadcast thing on the ball, so I think that's...
Yep, that's your issue, because it's never receiving the message. So it's just going to sit there.
Okay.
All right, what's your next question?
Let's see. Well, also, before we changed the, still it's the same thing for 1, is that it still goes to the paddle unless I press the space bar.
there's a glitch in your code. I don't know exactly where, but there's something wrong with your code. So what I would do is, since we're running out of time, I would definitely double check the PowerPoint slides just to make sure.
The final question I don't think is very important was
Ah,
when I would it just all of a sudden started going in a big oval, not giant, but kind of a large oval. Whenever it hit it, it just kind of go just down and then up and then down. Like I'd hit it with a paddle with
it's
the right.
because of the 90, where the 90 degrees are in this code. You need to change that. Basically meaning this. You grab a motion block. First off, let me get on Sprite, more importantly. See, point direction. Now, what I'm going to do...
And also, I mean, it's still, I didn't do any zeros. Just
No,
90.
it has nothing to do with all that. You need to get a pick random and put that.
This is for the ball going every. Okay, pick random.
Yeah, that's what your issue is. So then now point direction, it'll pick a random number between 1 and 10. And you can change these. That's what you need to do.
Oh, okay. And that's all I have.
For both those 90s. You do that, you're going to solve 3 out of the 4 of your questions.
Okay, all three 90s?
No. Not all 3. Just the 2 touching paddles.
Okay.
Because you want it to hit those paddles and then point direction randomly, and then it's going to move.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, George, you have your hand raised.
Oh, sorry. It raised my hand for me.
Oh, no problem. And Max. Yes, Max.
I figured out a way to not necessarily change the color of the ball, but just to make a different ball.
Oh, cool.
I haven't tried it out yet, but I think what you can do is you can just get another sprite, and then for the ball, it says if you wanted to hit something and then change the ball, it can be when the ball if touching the, let's say, right paddle, change ball or whatever your ball name is to, and then add in something else.
Cool. Very cool. It's good theory. The last thing I want to show you guys and ladies before the end is, if you want to do this, this is just a random way to change the color of the ball every time it hits a paddle. So it's an if statement within. So every time it touches one of your missed areas, you can just do some type of if statement that will change the color of the ball. But there's multiple ways to do that. All right, everyone. Hopefully you try improving this game in many different ways over the next week, and we can show some of those off on next Monday. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of tonight's webinar, and as always, thank you for being a part of Young Engineers today. Hopefully you all have a wonderful evening and a great week. As a reminder, if you're in Raleigh, you have a lab this weekend at the NC State Science House. All right, take care and have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.